Welcome back to What Arty Noobs for General Disturbance. This is the 105 leFH18B2, the French Tier 5 Premium SPG that we know and love as PP La Pew Pew, because it was named by one of our members, and everyone else knows it as a leFH, a leaf blower, or a leHEPA. This one is located on the south spawn of Lakeville, and it's under the command of Andromeda of No Retreat, No Surrender. Game on. 105mm light field howitzer. It's quite an accurate gun, very accurate actually, and it's got the ability to pump out a round once every 8.92 seconds by the book, but you can see Andromeda's got it down to 7.85. Now, these shells are capable of doing 410 alpha, and they'll penetrate 53mm of armor, so most tanks will get penetrated. Oh dear. Yes, he's fallen in the water. And if you know where that comes from, extra credit to you. Well, that setter had a very quick game. Not a very enjoyable one though. He went for an early bath. Okay, we saw a Mitsu 108 going into the town, and now we're looking at this T78. First shot, near miss. Was close though. Went slightly to the right as it landed the other end. It wasn't fully dialed in. And we've lost sight of the enemy tank now. We do have a T-34-1 right up at the centre, so he might be able to spot that guy. It's a tier 7 game with tier 5 tanks in it, so plenty of opportunity to earn XP, because if you don't know, you actually earn 10% extra for each tier above the tier that you are at that you hit. So if you're a tier 5 and you hit a tier 6, you get 10% extra XP. If you hit a tier 7, you get 20% extra XP out of the shot. So it really does make it worthwhile to hit as many tier 7 tanks as you can. Currently from this position, I'm afraid Andromeda can't hit those guys in the valley. The mountain is actually getting in the way, but he can hit these guys over the other side of the town because, of course, they are actually going in and out of pockets where he can actually shoot. Okay, T-34, difficult shot because of the buildings. I don't think he'll hit him, but we can see the T-78 was badly damaged, and now he's out the game. First shot on that one. Well, not the first shot, but the first shot that was effective. Now, as these T-34s and other tanks pull back, they actually make themselves more vulnerable because they're going out into more open periods or open areas where there's no obstructions. So that's the one thing. If you're going into town, hug the buildings. They are your friend. And the M4A3E8, the same tank as Fury, and he's just gone out the game with a direct hit. And in fact, you know, that was very true. And somebody on What Arty Noobs on the Facebook page the other day just put a photo, it was a short video from YouTube, showing a tank from a certain country nearby that's currently under conflict, who actually got hit by a near miss of an Arty round, and you can see the devastation caused to the tank. It spattered the tank full of shrapnel. It was basically hammered. I mean, there were holes in the barrel, well, not holes in the barrel, but bits cut out of the barrel. Chunks of the barrel were damaged, and the rest of the vehicle was just spattered with the holes caused by the shrapnel. Now, the enemy is actually getting very close to our cap, and I think that Andromeda noticed that in the mini-map, and he's now taking precautions. He's moved a little bit closer to the town, probably not as close as he should be, because he might get spotted. Mind you, he's going to lay into these guys with as much force as he can. And if they go into a hull-down position, he might actually be able to help hit them with an armor-piercing round, because he does carry a few in this one. Tiger P thinks he's invulnerable, and we're still laying in the HE on him, and he's taking damage. And I think he's actually... Oh, he's not tracked now, but he is taking hits. Substantial hits, and there the last one goes in, and the next one will probably be a kill shot, although we've lost sight of him. So I think he's actually hiding just the other side of the building, so he's actually in cover. Meanwhile, over the other side of the map, that T-34, well, he retreated all the way through the town, and now he's got to a position where he's holding back our forces. We've got an M10 coming up the Lake Road, a P43 Biz coming up a different road, and we can't get a shot on him because he's actually in a good position for him to avoid us, but not the P43's 90mm gun. Okay, so somebody's gone into the cap area. I think it might be the Tiger P, because the BZ does seem to be a little further back, and the Tiger P just got wiped out by our Skoda 40. Okay, nice hits going in. The Skoda's going to proximity hit, spot the BZ now. Just need to keep these shells going in. And the KV2's turned up, so it might be a good idea to lay a few shells on him if we can, because of course that will help our teammates. The Skoda doesn't want to get hit by a 152mm round no matter what. So we're still aiming at the BZ. We're pumping those shells in. He knows when we're ready to shoot, and that's why he was moving back to avoid it when we were ready. But we've lost sight of that KV2 again. He's somewhere there. As you may know the history of this vehicle, if you don't, they only made 16 of them. They actually made more flame-throwing tanks out of the Shure B1s that the Germans captured than they did artillery pieces. Apparently, as far as we know, it wasn't very good. But basically, in the game, it is very good. The reason we say it, we don't think it was very good, because if it was good, then the Germans would have actually built a lot more of them and sent them out to Russia, because they did need a lot of artillery or SPGs out there. Also, got to remember it's a 105mm, which means it's the most popular artillery piece that the Germans actually built during the war. They built more 105s than they did the 88s or the 15 centimeters. And it was very, very efficient at doing damage to the enemy. Most people would confuse the 105mm shell with the 88mm shell, but of course the 88 was a high velocity anti-aircraft gun, whereas the 105 was actually more of a standard artillery piece, basically designed in the First World War. Although I still hold to the theory that what actually happened is that they did development work on the 105 following on from 1918. He's trying to get a line of sight on that guy now, at least get the shot round the building. I think they carried on doing work on it to actually improve it and make it much, much better. But of course, the Treaty of Versailles didn't allow them to do that. Okay, he's decided not to try and creep around the corner, and good job that he didn't. He just got whacked for the KV2, fired a HE round into him, so yeah, lost virtually all of his hit points in that one as well. I suspect the KV2 actually went round the corner and is sitting in that sort of like area right at the bottom of the map in the K row. It seemed to come in from that direction. It was a bit of a mistake trying to get a line of sight to lob the shell over. Yeah, he's still trying to get the KV, but he's not absolutely 100% exactly where that KV is, because he hasn't seen him for a while. He actually aimed at the last map position. And now we've got a shot on this VK, and he's very low on hit points. That was a bit snap, but it might actually... Oh, no, it didn't hit... It hit something, but it didn't hit the tank. But he's going to give it another go. No, I think that's going to miss as well. He might be able to get a shot on this T-34. We're aiming right up the other end of the map at the moment. The T-34 is in a position where we can wipe him out. That will take a gun out of the game and help our teammates. He comes forward. Okay, rounds out. He pulls back rapidly. He knows he's getting hit by Arty, and... well... rounds out. Will this hit? Yes, it does! Another kill. That's 3 kills now for Andromeda, and a good shot all the way up from the other end of the map. That shell flew right over the mountains. Oh, we've been spotted again, and this time it's the BZ. And he should have come out of aim because he's about to get rammed by the guy. And he did ram us, but of course, we're a heavy tank. And so is he. And he didn't realise that, so he's tried to ram, but it doesn't work. Now, come out of aim, Boo. Okay, now hit him with the HE rounds right at the back of the turret. See, he was thinking, I'll ram him. I'll get rid of him while I'm shooting at the other guy. And he is going to get... oh, he does go out the game. Oh, well done. I thought that he was going to lose him there because he would get a shot off before we reloaded. But no, he got taken out as well. And it's just the KV2 now. And I think actually Andromeda might be driving into a trap because if he is round the back of that rock, then we might get seen. No, the KV2 went up the other end. He's gone up to the bottleneck, and he's now holding our guys down there. So I think we can come up behind him and shoot him in the ass. Whilst he's aiming at our guys at the pass, we're going to be shooting him in the rear. And I think our guys are coming in. The M2Y is coming in to support us. Just keep a straight line, because we can use the rocks against him. Okay, looks good. Okay. There is a problem because that rock there, but we might be able to get a shot. Is he looking our way or is he looking towards... Okay, we've got a shot. 7 rounds left. Oh, while he was distracted, the kill shot came in from the Skoda T40. Well, I think that game shows us that even heavy tank drivers can be distracted and make the wrong decision and pay for it because they thought that they were heavier than a 105 leFH18B2. It's a 36-ton tank. It's not a small thing. It's not a medium weight. It's actually more of a heavyweight when it comes to damage. And if you run into it with a light tank, the light tank will always come off worse. But you saw there, a heavy tank tried to take out a Fifi by ramming him to death, turning his gun towards the other enemies to stop them from shooting him, and was just slowly rocking backwards and forwards to do ram damage. No, he was doing ram damage, but he made a big error because, of course, Andromeda was able to survive that damage and impart better damage of his own right into the rear of that guy's turret. In fact, I thought that for a moment that Andromeda wasn't, because he didn't come out of aim view straight away, and he should have done that because then he obviously would have seen what was coming towards him. But obviously, it was a case of somebody making a gross error of the actual mass of the vehicle. And yes, the Fifi is a very heavy tank, so don't try to ram it because you'll come off worse, unless of course you are much, much heavier, and he wasn't heavy enough to actually do the job. That was a second-class tanker for Andromeda of no retreat, no surrender in the Fifi. He also managed to get a fighter badge for getting at least 4 kills. He got 4 exactly. Bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits in that game. He managed to get 8. His win rate from the game, 3,161, which is Super Unicum standard. Let's have a look at team score and see where he was. Well, he didn't get the highest damage in the game. That actually went to the Skoda T40, the premium Czechoslovakian tank. And he picked up a Leather medal for 2,581. Second highest damage went to the VK3002M, the one that was left on very low hit points. But yes, he still managed to get shot right from the other end of the map by Andromeda. And he got 1,983. And the third highest damage turned out to be that Type T34 on the enemy team, who actually managed to get a Leather medal as well. And he got 1,893 hit points. We can see Andromeda got 1,251. In actual fact, he was beaten by 5 members of the enemy team and 2 of his own, which puts him in 8th place when it comes to damage. When it came to kills, though, he was in 2nd place because the Skoda managed 5 kills, 1 short of getting a Top Gun. 4 kills went to Andromeda, 3 kills went to the VK3002M and the Type T34 on the enemy team. And when it came to base XP, he's in 2nd place again because the Skoda managed 1,184. It's the only one to get over 1,000. But, yep, Andromeda got 876, which put him in 2nd place. And in 3rd place, we got the M10 RBFM on our team with 723. Andromeda fired 43 rounds, so he didn't have much ammunition left at the end of the game. 7 rounds in total. And I think 2 of those may have been armor piercing. 15 direct hits on the enemy, 2 penetrating shots, and let's have a quick look and see, can we find out which ones he penetrated? Well, maybe the T-78. Yes, he did penetrate that guy. It was a direct hit on him from above. He did penetrate the M4A3 Easy 8 as well. That was the second shot that he fired. First one just wounded him, but the second one landed right on top and wiped him out completely. He also got 1,251 hit points, of which 413 were at more than 300 meters. So you can see a lot of shots in this game were actually done at close range. And I think that's because Andromeda had to move out of the cap area to await the arrival of the enemy tanks and actually managed to break it through the valley. He received one hit. It was a hit by way of splash damage. Yes, he did take some damage. 5 enemy vehicles were damaged, 4 were killed, 142 hit points of damage assistance. Now, on a premium count, he actually earned 64,803 credits from that game and 3,154 experience points out of it as well. So it was interesting in that we learned something that even heavy tank drivers are still making the mistake of trying to ram a Fifi and coming off worse. And we're also, it was an interesting battle in that it's maybe not a good idea to get too close to that cap area if there is an enemy tank nearby that might be able to snipe you. And that KV-2 did snipe him. If he got a second shot in, I think he might have been wiped out. Don't try and get a line of sight on the enemy, because if they see a Fifi, they'll aim for you because you're an Arty and they think that Arties are easy kills and good kills to get. And so I think that was a bit of a mistake. I think if he'd actually driven further or closer towards the town, he might have been able to get a more accurate shot shooting over the house instead of being blocked by the house. But at least the game was a battle. It was a victory. And of course, he was hitting high tier opponents, so he got better XP. I hope you enjoyed that replay. If you did, please give this video a like. Do subscribe to our channel. Leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm. And thank you for watching.